Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so excited you decided to join us this evening. My name is Dr. Stacy Holweger. I am here with my beautiful co-host, Miss Laura Balzer, who is 45 minutes from my house. We are in sunny Florida, hot, sunny Florida, over here on the East Coast. And we are excited that you guys decided to join us tonight. If you are a guest, grab your notepad and your pen. You're definitely going to want to take some notes. We have two fantastic testimonials to share with you tonight. I will be interviewing Moona and Laura will be interviewing Jeff, and then I'll come back on and share exactly how this technology works with you tonight. But before we do, I want to share our disclaimer. The information that we're sharing tonight is for informational purposes only. Lifewave and the products and the company are not intended to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose anything that is going on with you. If you have any questions about your health, please check with your healthcare provider, your practitioner. If you're on any, medications, if you're pregnant or nursing, check with them before you start anything, of course, as always. So let me go ahead and get Moona on here. Perfect.
Okay. Hello.
Welcome, Moona. So I'm excited. Moona and I have been working together for a while now, and she has an incredible testimonial that it's going to touch all of your hearts. And I know you're definitely going to want to share this with everyone. So Moona, if you could tell us, how did you find out about these patches? How long have you been using? What was going on with you before you even started using the patches? And what's happened since?
Yeah, sure. I myself, I'm a holistic nutritionist, so I'm a big fan of, everything which is natural and no drug, nothing at all. So it was 2 years ago that unfortunately I got diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 2, the triple negative type. And when I saw an oncologist over that time, he told me that I have to start with chemo first because of the type of the tumor that I had. So he obviously told me about all the side effects and what I'm going to experience during those 16 sessions of chemo. So definitely I was sad when I came out from the office, and I discussed this with one of my family member who she herself is a nutritionist, and it was the time that she was working with a Lifewave. And she told me about all the benefits of these magical patches. And what actually attracted me, it was that it's 100% natural, the naturality of these patches. And she told me that your body itself gonna heal itself while you're gonna just use these patches. So from day one of the chemo, I started putting the patches, and the interesting thing that I actually saw, it was that I didn't have any those sort of abnormal experiences that other patients were experiencing it. So my hair started to fall out from the third session of the chemo, between third to fourth session. So usually people gonna lose their hair from the first session. So I didn't have any tingling in my feet. I have a pretty good stamina. I can remember that, on the first session, the second session, the third session of the chemo, I had good energy to go for a walk, to sometimes go for a jog. And the interesting thing, it was that I didn't lose weight. I didn't lose any weight at all during that time. And usually people, when they are doing the chemo, they don't have good sleep, and they're always, just having a bad experience of not having enough amount of sleep. But I didn't have that, thanks God. And when I started, after the chemo, I went for double mastectomy, and obviously I had a scar under my breast. And the interesting thing, it was that my scars got healed pretty fast. And I can, right now, I cannot notice anything on my skin. It's kind of like pretty soft. And after the mastectomy, I went for 26 sessions of radiation every single day. And obviously I had a pretty bad sunburn on my right breast, because that was the part that they were just doing the radiation. And those sunburns, they were pretty bad, but the good thing is that my recovery time, the whole skin got recovered pretty fast. And the doctors over there in the radiation center, they would just keep asking me that, what are you doing? What are you putting on your skin? I said, it's just nothing. I'm just using these magical patches. I mean, they are just wonderful. They are just doing it all for me. I don't need to do anything. And that's how I, got introduced to Lifewave. And I decided that after my treatment, I definitely would love to just spread the word and to share this with everyone, especially with cancer patients, because with cancer, there's no joke. And usually whoever had cancer, they know that during the chemo, you cannot take any supplements, you cannot take any medicines, because there is a lot of contraindications with anything that you are taking. And the fact that these patches, they are natural and they don't, they give you any side effects, and there is no contraindication with any of the medicines that you are taking, that's, awesome. And I consulted with my oncologist first before, taking the patches, and he said, no, just take it. Just use it. With me, it's absolutely fine, because I mean, they are non-transdermal, nothing goes into your body, and it's just, just use it. And yeah, here I am. I'm pretty healthy right now. I got my hair back, and the time that I got my hair back, it was, the timing of that, it was not other patients, because I was obviously, talking with other patients at the room of the treatments and etc. And my experience was, different with other patients.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive, Mona. I know she's mind blown up here. Mind blown, you can tell.
Yeah.
Laura, do you have any questions for Mona?
I just think it's just absolutely phenomenal, Mona. I walked the same road, stage 3, and I healed myself all nutraceutically. I did not do any of that. And so for you to be able to incorporate I didn't know about them back then, right? And for you to incorporate them the way you did to get the result that you did, it is truly the power of the patch. And God bless you, because you are a beacon that will change many people's lives.
Yeah, I really do love, everybody, they just gonna get these magical patches, and it's just, it's life changing. It's really life changing, especially with cancer patients. Whoever had cancer, they do understand what I'm talking about right now, because for cancer, you want to give your life. You just want to give anything to get your life back, to get your health back, and to have a smooth sort of experience during all those, horrible treatments that you're going through.
That's amazing.
And these patches, they just made it far more easy for me, much more easy, which, my experience was absolutely different with other patients. And thank God, and thanks to Lifewave.
Well, and I'm sure, just like many of us, I guess one of my questions would be, are you ever going to stop patching?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. No, never, ever.
Right. Well, I mean, you look amazing, and we cannot thank you enough. I know you and Stacy have been chatting a lot, but amen to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming on here. All right, so Laura, I'm going to turn it over to you, girlfriends.
Okay, so Jeff, you're unmuted. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Wait, is he unmuted? Jeff, are you unmuted?
He's ready.
Okay, so Jeff,
Can you
Why
hear
don't
me?
you share with everybody who you are, where you're from, and just start in on this amazing story and testimonial that you have.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Jeff Lil Rose, live in Marshall, Michigan. And I've been in the medical field since '91. I am currently a registered nurse in the emergency room for 23 years now at our Oak Lawn Hospital. So I had an injury. I fell April 18th, 25 foot out of a tree and landed at about a 45-degree angle to the ground on my heels. And I had a burst compression fracture of L1, 45%, with some burning and tingling in my legs. And they did a trauma code on me in the hospital, and I spent the night in the hospital and was released the next day. My friend, Todd Smith, he recommended these patches. And the day I got home from the hospital, we tried it. And I've been using them ever since. I also, June 9th, had a reconstructive shoulder surgery, 4 tendons reattached to my shoulder from a work-related violent patient that I had in the ER. But I've used these patches, and each injury I was given a bottle of Percocets. And since April 18th until now, I've only had to take 2, and that was the first day of each injury. I haven't had any Motrin, I haven't had any Tylenol, and I went for my 6-week follow-up appointment with 2 spinal specialists, and they both said that within 5.5 to 6 weeks, my back is totally healed. All the debris has rounded off. I have no deficits, no neural deficits, no numbness, tingling, burning anywhere. And they cleared me to go back to work. And each one of them said this was a 12 to 13 week healing injury. Wow. And my shoulder, I'm ready for therapy already. And I'm out of my sling. And that physician is also amazed on how good I'm doing. But the main thing is it's taken all my pain away, and it's healed me twice as fast as if I didn't take the X39 patch. I wear it every day for 12 hours. Sometimes I forget, wear it overnight, but I haven't any problems with that. And I'm just amazed that I've had 2 different shoulder surgeries in the past, and they were the most painful thing I've ever been through. This one is even more extensive. I haven't had any pain. And here's my whole, they're all there.
They're all in there.
They're all there. I've taken 2 out of the whole bottles, and I'm amazed. I'm amazed. It's healed me, and all my physicians are pretty amazed also. So
they're amazed, and they probably said, "What are you doing? Just keep doing it. Don't tell me, just keep doing it."
Right. They showed the before and after pictures of my back injury, and they called me over their computer shaking their head, and they go, "Look at this." That's basically what they said is, "What are you doing?" And I've told them, and I said I didn't take any Motrin at all, and it was recommended, but Motrin's an anti-inflammatory, and when we have an inflammation process, all them cells that are brought to the injury actually help heal the injury. So when you don't take Motrin and the patch is used, I thought I was able to heal a lot quicker. So
that's amazing. You know, I love that you shared this way, because we are seeing across the board healing these types of injuries, serious injuries across the board, 40% faster in healing. And you've experienced that. So my
Oh.
question to you is, as a nurse for 23 years, when you were told about this little patch, what was your first,
Yeah,
what was your first response?
my first response using it,
Well, what did you think about it?
I was skeptical. I'm a nurse. I've done conventional medicine all my life, and to not take medication to help me and just apply a patch to the back of my back or my neck, I haven't had to take anything. So I was skeptical with the back. I know I healed twice as fast, and my pain was taken care of. And I thought, okay, I've had shoulder surgeries twice. I know what that's all about. So let's just see what this is going to do for my shoulder. Like I said, I've taken one pill ever since my June 9th surgery, and I feel great. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. I just love that. Dr. Stacy, this is incredible. We hear it every single day. And when it comes from somebody in the medical field, it just means so much more. It gives us so much more validity. Dr. Stacy, any questions for Jeff?
Well, I just want to know kind of what you asked Mona. I want to know, Jeff, how long are you going to keep patching?
I've got another month and a half supply, so that's going to get me through my therapy, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. I would like to do it forever, but if I have an injury, then I'll definitely use them. But
Wow.
yeah.
That's
And what
amazing.
patches have you used? They're asking what patches.
The X39,
Mm-hmm.
Lifewave X39, and that's all I've been using.
Wow.
Wow, just the X39.
That's it.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right.
That's very impressive.
Man, I
So,
love it. Okay, well, thank you.
Well, Jeff, amazing. Thank you so much. And listen, when you run out of patches, don't you worry. We're going to be able to rectify that and be able to keep you going. So that is not a care in the world for you.
Thank you very much, you guys. You've changed my life.
That's
No,
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, because it's definitely going to help many other people. So we really appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Bye.
amazing. Well, Stacy, how can this all be? Something that is the size of a quarter, you know, and I think that's the thing that really blows people away. So for our guests that are joining us, you know, you heard some incredible testimony from cancer and chemo and radiation to surgeries that were more in depth than ones that Jeff had before, and witnessed half the healing time. You know what? We can't heal like that without our stem cells. And the beautiful thing about this little patch is it's going to activate, mobilize, and stimulate your own personal stem cells. We're not talking about anybody else's DNA. This is all you, the way you were created. So how does this work? Because if it's non-transdermal, non-invasive, and nothing is going in your body, well, how does it work? Because all of us, Jeff is a perfect example of this. He has seen transdermal patches probably throughout his years working in the medical field, whether it was a hormonal patch, a weight loss patch, a pain patch. The list goes on and on. I certainly do not have to sit here and lay it all out for you. But the thing about those patches is they have a chemical or an herb or a substance on them that actually penetrate through the dermis, through the skin, enters the bloodstream, and goes to work on what it's telling you it says it's going to do. This does not work that way. There is nothing going in your body. Okay, so just like Mona said, there's no interaction with anything that you might be doing or taking. Okay, her doctor, her oncologist said, yes, go for it, right? Which is kind of unheard of, but we like him, right? But here it is. It's like a Band-Aid, you guys. You just peel off the back. You take it off, and if you'll notice, I am going to have to change my view here because I am not sure what I'm looking at. If you'll notice in the center of the patch, there's a little white dot about the size of a dime. Okay, so we have a quarter and a dime, and there's a little piece of white gauze in there. And in there, embedded, is a proprietary blend that David Schmidt, our owner, our CEO, our scientist, right, our founder, invented the blend that is held or embedded into the center of this patch. And all it is a proprietary blend of organic matter, that of consisting of organic amino acids, water, sugar, crystals, and oxygen. Now, these are certainly not things you're going to find in your kitchen. These are things found in a lab, all right? Dave loves his lab. But when these molecules come together, they form what we like to call a crystal lattice structure. It's a very tight weave. Dr. Stacy talks about the lattice under her house where she lived in Indiana. I think about apple pies. So you pick whatever you want to picture this as, but it's a very tight crystal lattice. It becomes reflective in a way, almost like a mirror. Okay. And because our bodies are low level infrared light or heat, energy, however you want to look at that, when we take this patch and we place it on the skin, there's a communication that starts to take place between the center of the patch and the energy source of our bodies. It's a bioexchange of information. And when that begins to happen, it reflects back towards the skin, towards the body, a very specific wavelength of light. And when that transaction takes place, it elevates a peptide in our body called GHK copper peptide Cu or GHKCU. Okay, we'll condense it like we're in science class. Okay, but when we elevate that peptide, it then tells the body to activate and stimulate your own personal stem cells. Maybe some that have gotten exhausted over the years and are laying dormant, but we're also making brand new pluripotent stem cells, baby ones that have tons of energy that will start marching out throughout your body. But our bodies are very innate, and I really want you to grab a hold of this. When we start mobilizing those stem cells again, our bodies get to decide where they go, okay? Jeff's talking about his shoulder. He's obviously a very healthy man, and those stem cells went right to work for him on his shoulder. But a lot of times, we never know what's going on in the inside of our bodies. When we start mobilizing those stem cells again, and they get going, they might go, hold the phone. The liver needs a little help. We need to race over there, or the lung tissue, or the brain tissue. And not to offend anybody, but those things are a little bit more critical to survival than a back pain issue or a knee pain issue. But don't despair, because they're going to get everywhere. You know, we have a really great rule of thumb. 1 month's use for every decade of life, or every 10 years. So if you're closer to 60 than 50, I'm going to say you're going to probably want a patch for 6 months so you can get total cellular regeneration, rejuvenation, and repair. Okay? Because if you're closer to 60, you're really only functioning with maybe 10% of the stem cells you were born with. We're born with an abundant amount of stem cells, you guys. By the time we're 30, 35, we might have half. Think back when you were 30, 35, some of the things you started noticing. You started noticing things your parents were experiencing, right? You said, I'm turning into my parents. Oh my gosh, it's happening, right? But then as time goes on, we start noticing, whether it's in ourselves or people around us, larger things, bigger things, maybe things like Moona experienced, or we're dealing with injuries like Jeff. But there's many, many buzzwords too that we're hearing. Do you know that every 6 months on this patch, the body reverses its cellular age by 8 years? Now, when I heard that, the first words out of my mouth were, sign me up. The second words were, I'm going to test the theory. Now, Dr. Stacy and I have been doing this together now for a little over 2 years. So we have been patching for 2 years. And I'm not going to tell you and go into it, but the last time I got my blood work done, My biomarkers or my panels are telling my doctor and myself that my body is functioning that of an early 30-year-old, early 30s. That was 6 months ago. I'm proud to sit here in front of you as a 27-year-old. And I'm really 60, right? But you guys, that's what's happening. The minute you put this patch on, we instantly reset a third of your genes to a healthier, younger expression. It's mind-boggling, but we have all the clinical studies that prove it. We have the science that supports it. We have over 90. We have over 130 patents, just 70 of them in regenerative medicine. So this patch is pretty incredible. You know, I mean, Dr. Stacy, what, every 6 weeks using this patch? Now let's think about it. And I know Jeff sees this a lot. Cardiovascular disease is probably one of, if not #1 killer. Every 6 weeks on this patch, the heart starts functioning that of 8 weeks younger. Every 6 weeks. I want to take care of my heart. I want to support all the systems in my body. So you guys, this is incredible technology that's about 20 years ahead of its time, but it also holds well, it had a 20-year patent in it. We're going into about 4 years on that 20-year patent. But rest assured, this technology belongs to Lifewave as a biotech company. We are the only biotech company that holds the patents and this patch in the world. So we're here to stay. We've been here for almost 20 years, and I can promise you, you will be blown away to see what's coming in the future for your health, your vitality, and your wellness. So if you want to dig a little deeper, if you want to dig into David Schmidt a little bit, or the company, or the studies, I want you to go to startx39now.com. Startx39. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm. You did.
Right? I was wondering, why did that not feel right? Go to that webpage. It is a plethora of information. Another one that I think you will enjoy going to is Reverse Aging with GHK.com. Reverse Aging with GHK.com. You guys, there's 50 years of research in there on GHKCU and its healing properties and where they're seeing the healing benefits. We're all born with all of these attributes. They just have a tendency to decline over time, right? So I know you're really curious, dig a little bit, but I also encourage you to get back to the person that invited you here tonight. They obviously care deeply about you, and they're going to be able to help you customize and choose the best way for you to get started. Whether you choose a retail cost, which I have to be honest, I would not do that. It's still very affordable, but I would opt in for one of our wholesaler packs. Give us the ability to customize to your laundry list so we can start checking off the things that you don't want to have to be dealing with anymore. So again, get back with them because you have many, many options. They're going to take great care of you. We all work together. And this little puppy is just the most amazing thing. You heard it here tonight with our 2 great testimonies from Jeff and Moona. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Stacy so she can take care of us the rest of the evening.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Laura, for that thorough explanation of our science and tech with Lifewave. And this concludes our Zoom for this evening. Thank you, Moona. Thank you, Jeff. Again, we want you both back on in the next 90 days to hear how you are doing, because obviously you've had exponential progress so far, but we'd love to hear from you again in the future. And I know our viewers will too. So thank you all for being here this evening, and good night.